I really like this section of this map.
Yeah, and we talked, in the mix, we can just turn down the foot.
Whoa. That got me.
That's a good one, yeah.
That got me real good. Yeah. That worked out nice.
Yeah. Nassim, you ready for me?
Let's go.
All right. So we're here in one of the audio bays, and I'm here with our audio director, Nassim. We don't really argue about this too much, but I believe that the music, it's not just music, right?
Yeah, the thing about music for this type of game is that it serves as a tool, and we really want to blur the lines between ambience and music. We want to serve music as a tool to go ahead and support a scene, but similarly, we want to set a mood. And for a game like ours, mood is everything.
There's different kinds of motors and machines in the game, and we'll say, make them scary. You could just make a motor sound like a motor, but you could deepen it or whatever. And so we try and think of scary for everything we do. What makes Callisto Protocol scary? It starts with tension. Making sure there's creepy stuff going on, there's weird sounds in the background, the music that's awful. You know, we've been looking at games, but it's more the movies that will start new trends. First saw it in Sicario 2, believe it or not. One of the trends that we started seeing is the low sound that would boom, right?
A lot of baritone downers, just an ominous use of a bass tone or a cello. It really sets the mood, and it seems to be the trend lately, and we kind of vibed with it and rolled with it.
Yeah.
I think it certainly matches the soundscape or the landscape a little more.
You think that's going to go well with the... That's cool.
Yeah? Let's play it some more.
We'll keep it down a little bit lower so we hear the wind still.
Let's go for a walk.
Seeing a mountain in the background or going under this when that sound goes off.
When it crests?
Yeah, would be great. I don't know if we can time it that well, though, can we?
Totally. We have all our music in stems. So the higher frequency stuff is one stem. We could use triggers when we go over specific landscapes to play these lower kind of brams.
Doesn't that sound like, oh man, I'm seeing something different I haven't seen before?
Yeah.
Like, what is this thing?
Well, exactly. Is this is this alien tech? Is this human made? What is this stuff? This one has some low hits on it.
That feels like an interior to me.
Gotcha. Well, let's take a listen to something else.
Maybe. It's kind of, well, that's pretty neat.
It's got some low end to it.
I don't know if that's an exterior though. That's a good one. So let's
check out another.
Yeah, okay.
The first thing Glen and I ever talked about was music and how important music was to the horror genre. Glen is super passionate about the genre, and music is maybe the most effective tool from an audio perspective to apply tension, foreshadowing, lead up, build up, and craft special moments. There's two types of Doom drones that we're kind of using to make tension while in combat. Some are a little more intense than others, and what's cool about these is that we have these in separate layers, so we could choose at what point in combat, depending on how much progress you're making, to start unlocking some extra layers.
Sound effects are a layer. Then there's a layer of the music. And music doesn't always mean like beautiful music. It is composed, but it can be weird and it really sets the tone.
We were lucky enough to get an Apprehension engine made for the studio and specifically for the title. This cool device was actually made by a bunch of sound designers that served other Hollywood horror movies over the years. So they took it upon themselves to build this concoction, this device, which is half instrument, half noisemaker.
I've only heard about it used in Hollywood, so I don't know of any game that's used it yet.
You want to hear some Apprehension engine?
Oh, you bet.
Check this out. So we got longer ones and we got shorter ones that we hope to sprinkle. It's got a bit of an Arrival vibe.
Which we want more horror, yeah.
And then we have shorter cues that we just play as little brams or splashes. I'm particularly fond of this part of the instrument. It almost sounds like violins.
Have you seen the Ozarks?
Yes,
It kind of has that
vibe to it.
I don't think it's quite us, but keep going.
What's cool about these types of elements is that we could play them on top of like other textures. So sometimes we just have these textures, and on top of that,
it sounds like something's alive.
Kind of has
way deep in there.
a vocal element. Hey, almost for tunnels would be relatively useful.
I love the Apprehension engine, man.
It's beautiful.
What a good find.
It's awesome. I'm really happy we have it.
At first we were kind of randomly putting it through the game. Now we're kind of triggering them so that we know exactly where that sound is going to come up, so it adds something to it. Okay, let's make it a little bit louder as you get to the door. Or get some Apprehension engine in here. Well, we talk a lot about timing. When you have a scare moment, we usually have a stinger. You have to be within 1/10 of a second of it. So timing is everything.
Film is linear, which is awesome in the sense that you can plan everything out and the composer knows exactly where to place his pieces. The beauty about interactive audio is we have a lot more control of what we decide to play when. And we work with the composers to break apart the different segments and the different layers and stems so that we can choose when to emphasize a specific brams or a specific stinger. We play the game, we identify key moments, and we break it apart, and we're able to have more control. Based off our conversation last week, I wanted to make sure that we really emphasize a stinger on this next scare. Here we go.
I think because the door is so loud that feels like a 9, and then you go to a 10, so it doesn't feel like enough contrast.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think we should turn down the door and maybe up the stinger so we carve out room for it.
Yeah, this is the fun part. But with horror, man, it is all about timing, right? We can't miss a sound by, 100th of a second. It's just, it won't sound right.
Sync is absolutely everything at this point. All right, let's go. I gotta remember where he lives. There it is.
So I would turn the tail down.
Gotcha.
It was so loud, but I didn't know what to be scared of because nothing hit me. If you turn the tail down and keep the hit where it's at, it'll be scary.
Gotcha.
Right now, it's like it gave it away a little bit.
Good notes.
Yeah.
I can fix that pretty quick.
Be honest with you, if gameplay didn't want it, I would just take the tail out altogether, but...
it happens so quick. For other enemies, the tail is useful because you know they're coming. Here, it's that we kind of want to surprise the player.
Yeah, because they have time.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, don't take it out till I talk to design,
Gotcha.
But if you could turn it down, keep there's like kind of a monster sound before, but it needs a stinger. He can be scary every time.
No doubt.
The hardest part with audio is it comes in so late because it has to come in after almost everything's in, because how do you put a sound to something if it's not in the game yet, right? Let's say an artist puts a drip in the level. We gotta have a sound. So we need to have almost everything in. Now, most of your monsters have been done by that group down in Hollywood that just does monsters.
Yeah, so we were really lucky to partner again with David Farmer from Sky Sound.
Right.
Who really helped us with a bunch of creature vocalizations. That singer could go way up.
Oh, way up. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Matter of fact, it was very quiet leading up.
Agreed. I think all things Bloodworm for that scene need to go up like +9.
In the mix, because it's quiet, we can just turn down the footsteps. So we're going to do that anyway when we do the mix. Okay.
What's cool, we have it actually set up in such a way where we could actually control fully dynamically. So if it's a really, really loud room, lots of steam, like big machinery, we could actually crank it up so it cuts through the mix.
Okay.
This is a quintessential example of a quiet environment where we could control that and bring it down.
Yeah, okay. You know what I like doing with Nassim is, he's got machines around, and it's like, make them scary. Gear room's really loud now, right? Did you get to that yet?
We're still working on the gear room. The whole idea with the gear room is we want to make it uncomfortably, just massively loud. Essentially, what we're doing there is we're actually positioning every element of the gear room. The cool thing about that is as I'm getting pushed by these enemies closer to these menacing gears, that's going to be the focus of the sound. It actually is going to work out pretty nicely.
You know how that's going to sound in headphones? Well, you were listening to it now.
Working with Glen's been awesome because Glen has hired directors that have had a fair amount of experience doing this genre and these types of games. And so while he has an overall vision, he essentially works with his directors to kind of materialize that vision. And oftentimes we bring ideas he may have not had.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And everything falls into place.
There is a lot of going back and forth. It's one of the places that I just love to spend time working on. And the audio team is fantastic. I could tell him up front. Nassim gets it to his team. I'm just doing 10% of the tweaks after that. See you, man. Thanks.